What's up? Chapter 8. Let's go. So, start off by reading. There's no coal of character so dead that it will not glow and flame. My throat was so hoarse. Voice. What? It will not grow and flame, but if slightly turn. So I know the rest of the chapter. I'm trying to put this first sentence in context here. I don't know. For the life of me, I don't know. Because the rest of the chapter is about selectively focusing your attention. And yeah, that's the main idea. Selectively focusing your attention. Okay, so resist not evil. Whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him also. There's a great difference between resisting evil and renouncing it. You don't give it your attention when you resist. No. When you resist, you're saying, oh no, I don't want this. It's like, don't think of a purple elephant. You're resisting the thought of a purple elephant. Guess what? You think of a purple elephant. Okay. So back over to, oh yeah, when you renounce it, you take your attention from it and give your attention to what you want. He's using the word renounce, and it's a really maybe it's you don't understand it. It's an archaic term, but basically it's just meaning that you by focusing on what you want, you selectively don't pay attention to what you don't want, and it's just as simple as that. You shouldn't use negatives when talking to yourself. Like I don't want to be poor. No, just focus on I want to be rich, or what's a popular one? I don't want to be fat. No, you have to change your identity to be healthy. So you have to change your concept of self, and then the results will follow. Okay, so yeah, and that's it. That's it. You don't have to worry about. But again, you have to be mindful. If you're thinking to yourself, I don't want to think this way, then if you're thinking if you're talking to yourself in a negative way, then just make sure that you don't do that. You have to be more mindful first. Anyway, okay. All right, now's the time to control your imagination and give beauty for ashes, joy for mourning, praise for the spirit of heaviness. Okay, that might be called trees of righteousness for planting of the Lord, that he might be glorified. All right, so he introduces, I don't think I go over this. Okay, no. Oh yeah, let's talk about Isaiah 61:3. So I think beauty for ashes. Right. Okay. So God is telling Isaiah to go out in Israel and give beauty for ashes, joy for mourning. I think. Let me go back on that, because now I'm curious. Oh, where did this go? Spirit of the Lord. Okay, the Spirit of the Lord is anointed Isaiah to do all that to Israel. And I don't want to go over the metaphysical definition of each one of those. It's that I've had a long morning. if you want to, yeah, no. The main idea is it's very easy to understand this. In my opinion, I hope it is for you too. What the heck? Okay, yeah, yep. And then he gives several translations / meanings for the three things: beauty for ashes, joy for mourning, praise for the spirit of heaviness. They all mean the same thing, I think. Give joy for mourning, unfavorable circumstances. Yeah, it's all. But I think it's helpful to go over. Okay. Yeah. So the three commands that he gives for these three viewpoints, mindsets. One, concentrate your attention on things as you would like them to be. Okay, so since we're not interested in looking at the negatives, we're looking at only the positives on what to do. So the first one is concentrate your attention on things as you would like them to be, which is not a new concept for this book at all. The second one is to maintain a joyous attitude regardless of favorable circumstances. This is kind of tangential to changing your assumptions. A joyous attitude, I think, is a feeling, and it will come from imagining something or believing in something that causes the feeling. So you're not going to be joyous for no reason. You can't just you can't. It's easier. I mean, maybe you can. I think it's not worth it to do that. It's easier, more natural to first think of a joyful scenario, put yourself in that scenario, and then you have a joyful attitude. What also helps with joyous attitude, and this is just from my personal experience, is there's a couple mindset things. The subreddit of Neville Goddard is rife with techniques that some people do. For example, in a movie, you see the struggle and then the finale, the thing at the very end. I like to think of it as whenever something bad happens, like, oh, this is such a good story. This is going to be so dramatic when I tell it, or when I write my autobiography. I always like to make that joke where my autobiography is going to be awesome because I'm going through all this shit. And I'm sorry I didn't cuss, but yeah, you guys will see later on. Right now I'm like toiling through it, but just wait. Okay. So yeah, second command, maintain joyous attitude or imagine something joyous. I think the first one, maintaining or changing concept of self, imagining something joyous will naturally lead to something joyous instead of you having to manufacture the feeling out of nowhere. That's just my opinion, it's my 2 cents. Okay, pray for the spirit of heaviness when maintaining a confident attitude is the same thing. Changing attitude instead of, so this is like a specific instance. A type of attitude is confidence. No, okay. Well, that's an understood command. I don't think I put it in there. Sorry, but yeah, this is just an aspect of the whole big idea, which is this one, confident attitude, which is be responsible for your attitude. You can choose it. So yeah. Okay, this quotation, trees are cinnamon for man. That's all over the place. Trees, mental states. Make it a permanent part of your consciousness. Okay, so that's the command that I put in here to make those things permanent in your consciousness. All right. You're planting of the Lord. I'm just checking my time. Okay, we're almost done here. All right. You're planting of the Lord when all your thoughts are true thoughts. True is kind of vague, but just assume that he meant maintaining like the attitude that you want. Here, what he is I am, as described in chapter 1, highest concept of self is manifest. Okay, so that is what true thoughts are as well. Highest concept of self, noblest and truest. Okay, can you, yeah. I inferred this. He gives several commands based on the Isaiah verse. And then he finishes off the paragraph with, I am is glorified when your highest concept of self is manifested. It's not clear, at least here in this passage, but that's what I understood. Okay, all right. To be your own savior. Okay, so there's this idea is introduced, I think, elsewhere in the book where, and actually other lectures. Long morning, like I said. It's you are redeemed by your imagination because it can lift you up out of whatever scenario you don't want it to be. So you just use imagination to lift you up out of it, like Jesus, and God. Imagination is God. That's what he says it all the time. What does he say? Your own wonderful human imagination. That's God. Yeah, that's what he says. It's not that right. Okay. Jeez, I need it. Come on. All right, putting the line. Okay. talks about the mind, talks about this a lot in other lectures as well, another material. But basically, this is do I say where it's from? I don't think so. No. Okay. Well, it's a Bible verse. I'm gonna find, no, it's not important. Okay. But the main point of the verse, I pruned the plant and it grew temperate in vain, expensive, useless leaves, and nodded as you see these clean, full clusters still pray the hand that wisely wounded. Yeah, that's everywhere. And that's it. But vine is, he explains. Okay, vine is meant. Yeah, pruning the vine means so the vine is your imagination in an uncontrolled state. And it expends its energy in useless or destructive thoughts. So when you don't invest your thoughts or your imagination, then it gets useless leaves. But then as it's pruned and you use your attention to prune it and to focus on what you want and to imagine the best for yourself, the highest and noblest, then you get cool grapes. Okay, I think yeah, I already talked about like this main idea here. By like, you don't focus on withdrawing your attention. I recommend focus on just concentrating on the idea you want to attain. Okay, one, because and I think the first is automatic. But the second. Okay. She's bar. Name is Boner. Bar. Speak truly, I think it's that one. Speak truly, and each word of thine shall be a fruitful seed. Live truly, and thy life shall be a great and noble good. So, I've said this over and over again for this video. By concentrating on what you want, first you have to establish a state of mindfulness, so that you understand everything that you assume. Sorry, that you register everything that you assume. And once you have that foundation of mindfulness, and this is me, this is not Neville, but I think practically, if you set a foundation of mindfulness, then you'll be able to know what you assume and know what you feel, and get back to why you feel and why you believe these certain things. It's important. I don't think it's important to just not like shove down unwanted or undesirable thoughts. I think there is a lot of value in understanding where it comes from, but it's easy to say and not very easy to do. For example, if you have a history of trauma and you avoid certain things, you can't just say, well, it's better for me to face my trauma, so I'm going to face my trauma. No, you might need help, and that's okay. But I don't want you watching this video to put a Band-Aid on something that is adversely affecting your life. I want you to, I would want you, just like I would want me to deal with the problem directly. So address it as first, but that's not talking about chapter 8 here. So that's a side to kind of like be bold and be courageous with discovering who you are and where you came from and why you think the way you think, why you do the things that you do. I think an entirely equally valid, if not more valid, idea or command is to give attention to or focus your attention on what you want, and that's it. But that comes from a base of mindfulness. You can't just flip a switch. So as you go throughout your day, notice when you're stressed or when you're tired or when you're angry, and concentrate on what you want instead. And then maybe if it becomes like too much of a problem, like it adversely affects your life long term, then find out the root cause. It also might be interesting to find out about yourself and finding out the root cause. Okay, I'm done. I'm not talking about that. We'll go on to chapter 9 later. Bye.